Hey, what's up, guys? Today I wanted to do a live stream, but for some reason my internet connectivity was not very good. So I decided, okay, let's forget about the live stream, let's code. But I'm gonna basically, record this video as is and post it. I'll try to be quick, and you will see how I debug things so that basically there will be no very less editing at the video publishing end. That's what I'm planning to do. Okay. Now, in today's video, what I am planning to cover is what is happening is there are users who are registering to my application. Some of them are not verifying their email address, and they're kind of hanging there, and really doesn't make sense for me. So I want to see those users. I may not immediately take any action, but I want to see a list of those users. And yeah, so I'll basically have an admin section in this application where I can go and see the list of users. That's basically what I'm trying to do today. Okay, so let's first handle the easier part, I would say, which is obviously for me handling the API side of things. Now, if we go to our user entity, you can see that I already have a role attached to a user. Right now it is authenticated, but we have admin as well. So let's just say what we are trying to do is an admin user will be able to fetch certain information and see those things in place. Okay. Now we already have this role, correct? And what I will do is let's create one more route. We'll call it /users. Now let me see, do I have a user controller? I don't think I do. I have user registration, but I don't have user controller, so we will create one as well. First let me create that. Okay, so the user controller is created, and now I can do user controller index. Obviously I'm going to name this route. Okay, it will be admin user list. This is the route which we are looking at. Let's create a test for this as well. Okay, admin user listing test. So when we are doing our tests first, what are the things that we are trying to test? Basically, this is going to be a very straightforward test, not too much happening around here. Let's just say we have two tests. One is it is accessible by admin only. Okay, so this is one of the hygiene checks which I want to do. Okay, and then once I have the hygiene check in place, okay, let's say it gives a paginated data, something like this. Okay, so first things first, we create a factory admin user. So user factory, I have definition, unverified, and admin. So what I can do is close this out. Let's say our $user is user factory create. Okay, so we are creating an admin user. Oh, sorry, my bad. The first one in this, I shouldn't actually do that because I'm checking for a negation. I can actually put it here, but yeah, let's remove this. and say this acting as the above user, JSON, that's a get URL route admin user list. Assert status 401, like so. Let me see. Does it go through? Yes, it does. So this test is passing. Obviously, it will pass because we have the middleware in place. So the admin thing will be checked. So for those of you who are not following the entire series, I can always go to the admin user middleware. I will show you what is happening. So we are looking for that particular user, okay, which is in the request, and we check for the role. And if it is not there, okay, this is let me see. I think I can change it. I don't need to make this query because I'm doing user role, so that should be available to me as a in the user object. Let me see. So if I just do something like this, does all my test pass? It does. It should ideally. Right. So then let me do one thing. Let's do a DD and check just to confirm, because the tests are passing, which means it is true. It will stop on the first one and it gets the role. So yeah, whatever we have done is correct. Now tests proved it. So we can stop that query actually. So we have a user, we are checking the role. If it is not admin, then we don't allow, and we are raising a 401. So I asserted for a 401. So that's done. Now as an admin, I should be able to see certain users. So user, obviously they can be any kind of user. So I will just do count. So 5, create. Okay, I create 5 users. Sorry, dollar this, acting as dollar user. This is an admin user, so he or this user should have that access. Okay, and JSON, it's a get API. Right, this is done, and I'm saying assert JSON, assertable JSON, like so. Inside assertable JSON, what are we going to assert? First of all, let's do the etc. That's the most important function over here. And then we need to confirm, because this is going to be a paginated data. So I'll look for current page. Okay, this will tell me that now I have a paginated data. Then I'll assert that I have data, because a pagination based query will give me this, and I will expect 5 things. Obviously, this test is going to fail, by the way, because we haven't written that code, but we will write that. I'm just doing a total as well. So let's just run this piece of test to see it fail. It does. What does it say? Okay, it says current page does not exist, which is fine. It's obviously what is going to happen. So user controller index. Okay, inside our user controller use index, I'll do user equals user query order by descending id paginate, paginate 20, and return response data, sorry, users, it has to be users, not user, and 200. So get request. Okay, so this is done, and now it is passing. So all our tests are passing. We have a API which we can utilize to get the list of users, right? So this is done. Now let's go to front end. In the front end, the first thing that I'm going to do is inside pages, let's create a folder called admin. Okay, because admin is where I'll have my admin pages. Okay, and then I have user slash index.tsx. Okay, now let me see from where I can steal some code. Okay, let's not do that. I'm doing this after quite some time, so maybe there's a gap, so it will be easy for you to look at things and get a sense what has happened so far. So this is my component export default. Now inside export default, because these are going to be protected routes, first of all let's have that protected route function, and through that we will pass user listing page. Okay, that's the HOC that we had created. Okay, let's return something. Return div I am here. Okay, I actually I can import the layout because that's what I'm trying to do in here. This is the page admin users. Okay, this is loading, and if I open it up on an incognito window, it takes me to the login page. So yes, this is fine. However, one thing which we haven't handled here is the fact that I'm only checking for authentication. I'm not checking for the admin role. How do I do that? So there's a small tweak which we can do, which is, let's just say we go to our protected route HOC. Okay, inside our HOC, what basically we are doing is, if the token is not present, we redirect. Okay, but then if the token is present and if the user role is not admin, right, then we should do something about it. So what we can actually plan to do is, let's just say auth service. Inside auth service, let's have a function, okay, called, this is handle login. Let's have one more function, static check if admin route. Okay, I'll pass the context and the role, or rather user role. Okay, let me be a little more specific. And in this, I'm passing the context because I need the request. Okay, and why do I need the request? Because I'm saying if request dot URL, okay, it includes this string admin, okay, if that's true, and user role is not equal to admin. Okay, that's the this is the set of condition. So if my URL is something like admin and the user role is not admin, this is the bare minimum check which I want to do. If that's the case, what I can do is I can say context dot response right head 302, which is a redirect. Location is going to be dashboard. Okay, and context dot response dot send like this. So with that in place, I'll do auth service dot if this, so ctx, right, ctx and role. These are the two values that I will pass, and what automatically now should have happened is it's still building the code. There's a problem in my code, that's strange. Response send is not a function. Oh, it should be end, not send. Now, do you have anything else to complain about? I hope not. Okay, it's building, it's doing something. Let's see. It's taking a lot more time than I expected, or is it my internet connection? I don't know. So I had to cancel my live because the connection was very bad. It's raining quite heavy, and I thought, yeah, it happened. As you can see, so admin slash users, if I go to that URL, it is taking me to the dashboard page because I'm not an admin user. Okay, so let's log out. First of all, go to the dashboard, do this, login. Admin slash users. Now it is working. Okay, so let's just say I know this video can go a little longer than I expected, but let us play around a little bit with this application in terms of security. Okay, and see how well we can capture things. Here's one thing: many users have asked me, how do I secure my SPA, or how do I secure my admin interface so that role based, so that users don't see the data. So I'll show you one situation which can potentially happen, which is this is performance memory. No, source. No, it's not source. It's on performance as well. Security is not the one. Where do I get the how do you say, the cookie information and everything else? Should have been, do remember it to be somewhere. More tools. Okay, application, is this the one? Yeah. Okay, why wasn't I was not able to see it, or something else, I don't know, but okay. So what is going to happen is, let's just say it's a cookie, right? I mean, end of the day, we are looking at a role. This is username. Yes, user role. If it is admin, I made a change, I'm a bad user. So now admin users, I'm on this page. So how do you validate it? Correct? Well, the thing is, obviously, right now my solution is in a way that I can't really stop you on this particular thing, because you have changed your cookie, you have put in something which tells me that you are an admin user, but the moment we hit an API, I know it is not going to work. That's the rationale behind my code. That you can go to this page. Okay, fine, you will see that it says this is the page, or maybe you will see a list title saying user listing, but then you don't see the list because the API is not going to return you anything. So with that, I think we should be able to manage things. Okay, Right. So this is there. Why don't we change it to admin? I'm an admin user. I had already changed my cookie manually, but yeah, this is how it is. Okay. Let me. This theme is a little difficult to understand the lines for those tabs. Uh, right. So we are on this page. Um, Layout is here. I'll need to set up a page title. Maybe something like this. Page title is this, and then I had a page header component as well. Title like this. Okay. Now I want the user data to be here, right? So constant user data set user data equals use state null. By default it's null. I can put it to an empty array as well, but I think because we are getting paginated data, so it's fine. Okay, we can live with that. So on use state, we are doing it. We have use effect. This is where we will call for the data. This is like the component did mount, and I'll have a function called fetch users because this is going to be an async function, and you can't have an async function default on use effect. I mean, I can't do something like this, it will complain. So what happens is the typical flow is you create an async function like this, okay, and you call this inside your hook. Okay, so what we are going to do is response is going to be await, let's say, user service. That's pretty straightforward. User service, we don't have the function as of now, but let's name the function as get user listing for admin. This is going to be the function, so obviously let's go to our user service, static this async. I don't need any arguments, and that's about it. Okay, now this is a post URL. I want an example of registration URL. I'm not very much interested. I need this header, so I'll just steal this. Okay, auth service, import it, and then let's have a new URL in a constant admin user list. Okay, what is going to be the URL for that? I think what we have said is it is inside the middleware, right? Middleware admin, so admin slash users, admin users. Okay, and let me get this URL in. Yeah, so it will be a constant response equals await axios get, okay, URL service dot this. Okay, it's a get URL, so obviously I don't need to do anything, but I do need to send the headers. So headers, I'm trying to also make a video where I can make this a little more easy. Okay, I have to do this every time. I can actually return a singleton and get that. Let's see, result result will be response dot status. If the status is 200, right, then I need to return the response. Okay, and okay, and then all in this function also I'm doing response. Yeah, that's fine. So I have the response over here. Okay, so let's do if response dot status is 200, not 2000. Set user data will be, now this is a paginated data, so typically we get response dot data dot data. Okay, that's how we will get that, right? But then there is, there's a thing that inside this data also we are getting the third level thing, which is another data, because pagination will have current page, last page, those kind of information. So let's actually hit that URL and see. uh, User listing page, state, right? So you can see the user data has current page, first page URL, last page URL, things like that. And then we have data, only one user. Okay, not a problem. Right, so what we will do is, let's go to our component. In here we have page header. Let's get rid of that user data. If the user data is present, I mean it's not null, then what are we going to do? We're going to get a table, okay, table bordered, table hover, table striped, and then inside that we have t head, tr. I need I need the ID, name, email, role, and verified. So 5 columns. So th into 5, okay, like so. Now this will be ID, name, email, role, email, verified at, okay, like that. And then obviously we need to get our body, tbody in place, and inside tbody we have a condition which is user data dot data, oops, dot length, okay, length. If the length is greater than 0, then what we are going to do is user data dot map. Okay, inside that map we have user and index. Let's keep the index as well, and then we will return, we have tbody, so tr. Okay, and inside tr we will have 5 tds for sure. Oops, no, tf is td. Okay, now what do we show? User.id. Okay, let's do key equals user.id. Do I have a contract for the user? Let's see. If it's there, it will be good. iUser, ID, name, that's fine. Email, verified at string. So string, can I do date? I don't know. iUser, at least let's have this. Okay, so I need the ID, then we have name. Okay, now I will start getting the hints. So user dot, the next column is email, right? User role is also required. User dot verified I have put in, but role is pending. Let me go to iUser, do role is string. Let me do a date. Let's see what happens. Will it fail? Will it work? I don't know, but at least let's try that out. Okay, so this is done. All right, we have this. So as you can see, this information is there. I have a small problem here. Admin A should be capital, What I'll do is global dot css. I'll have a utility class. UC first. UC first text. What is it? Text. I don't remember. Text is a decoration. No. Right. This is the one. Uppercase or capitalize. Uppercase puts all written. So this is the one which I'm looking at. Add this utility class over here. Class name. That should solve the problem. Yes, it does. So yes, we have a listing. Let me try to register and see if the second user is coming. I mean, it will come, obviously. Shouldn't be a problem. The other thing is register. Emails may not work, so I'm not very sure. John Doe. Okay, at Gmail. Password is password @123. Let's register over here. Yeah, something I'm expecting it to fail. I have an entry which is fine, so it went to this part. Now if I go to my page, if I hit refresh, right, it's there. So yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting it to be. The verified is null, so I know that this user hasn't verified, and that's what I wanted to get as part of the functionality. So we have seen how we build the API. It was a proper test driven development because I first created the test and then I did the API. It was a very simple one. Okay, it's just a listing, nothing fancy. The query is also very straightforward. And then I have this list. I need to get the pagination in place as well, but that's something which I'll do later on. I need to deep dive a bit. I already have a pagination video based on what we do in Laravel for React. Okay, there is a component, but I'll need to just brush up on it. I haven't done it for quite some time. But yeah, that's about it. So let's finish this video with looking at the code and committing it. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. I user contract. I have added this. What is it? This is the main page. That is fine. It's ready to go. I added this piece of code, which is my check if admin route. Can go. URL service. I added this new one. User service. No consoles here as well, and this SCSS. That's one line of code. Adding the code for admin to see list of users. This is done. Let's push that on the API. Close all. Let's see. That's fine. We made this change. This is fine as well. And this is the test. Right. Middleware change. Alright, so I have committed everything. You can find the updated code on GitHub. Okay, this failed. Why? Host key verification failed. Now that is interesting. If I do GP, which is my git push, okay, the fingerprint had a problem. Next time I think it will work. Yeah, that's about it, guys. That's how I got this basic functionality in place. I need to improve on it. I have a plan to even do some data grid functionality, but that's future. Right now this is done. So if you like this video, do click on the thumbs up icon and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.